Hi yogis, we're back on our mats for another 45-minute yoga session today. And today we're going to start out in Shavasana. So go ahead and make your way onto your back, getting into that comfortable position, and we will come full circle, find our way back here in the end. But starting here, we're just going to let our body sink into the earth, really grounding down and taking this opportunity to still our minds, be present on our mats, and take a few breaths just to settle ourselves, prepare for practice, prepare for this time that you're taking for yourself to improve your flexibility, your balance, your strength, your well-being. Just feeling that heaviness of all your limbs. And we'll bring your right knee into your chest, pulling it towards your armpit, and begin just slow circles of the hip. You can go clockwise and then counterclockwise, beginning to get motion and movement into that joint. Straighten your right leg, flexing your toes back towards your face, and gently take a hold of the right leg and pull it towards your face, getting a stretch on the backside of the body. And we're not too warmed up yet, so be gentle with yourself, keeping that foot flexed to keep the stretch in the muscles, not the joints. Pull the knee back into the chest and supine twist, bringing the right knee over to the left. You can stack your knees as you look to the right. Maybe your right hand is stretched wide. Your shoulders should both be on the ground. Getting a nice spinal twist. Come back to center. Right leg goes long. Left knee into left armpit pit, flexing the left foot. And begin to make some motion with that right leg, getting into the hip joint, clockwise, counterclockwise. And straighten your left leg to the sky, flexing the foot, and gently pulling the left leg towards your face. There should be a slight bend in your knee. This should be gentle, just beginning to wake up the back side of the leg. Knee back into chest, supine twist towards the right. Left leg comes to the right, left arm goes to the left, gazing towards the left hand. And your upper back does stay on the mat, both shoulders pressed in evenly. Come back to center, give both knees a hug, make yourself into a tiny little ball, pulling chest to knee, knee to chest. And start to do a little bit of motion here. You can go side to side, putting your hands behind your thighs. Start to get a little rock in your little ball as we rock back and forth on our spine to come up, cross ankles, and we'll meet in tabletop. We'll do a slight variation on tabletop. We're going to do a floating tabletop. So first, press down firmly evenly through both hands, and you should be on your toes curled down. Middle fingers are parallel, facing 12 o'clock. And then we're going to inhale, and we're just going to lift our knees about 2 inches off the mat for an elevated tabletop. and release to the ground. Push back up, elevated tabletop, and release. This is starting to fire up our core. Push up into elevated tabletop, release. One more time, lifting the knees off your mat, getting the hover there, and release. Right arm forward, left leg back. Firing up the side bodies, our obliques, and bring your knee and elbow to meet. Inhale, long. Exhale, knee and elbow to meet. Inhale, long, and meet. Last time, long, and meet. And release to the ground. Let's take a moment to get back into neutral in your tabletop, and we'll do the other side. Left arm long, right leg long, stretching, and then meeting in the middle. Extend, and elbow to knee. Extend, elbow to knee. Last time, extend, elbow to knee. And come back to your tabletop. Plant your toes on your mat, and we'll press up to our first downward facing dog. Pedal your dog out, getting any motion that feels organic, that feels good in your body. We're in this position quite a bit during our time together, so we want to focus on our form, which is pressing firmly through the pointer finger and the thumb. That is where the majority of your hand pressure should be. You should be able to lift your pinkies off the mat. And slight bend in your knees with an inner rotation of the thighs. Pressing in, pressing hips back, and breathing. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Slowly walk forward so that your hands are parallel, your feet are parallel behind your hands. Slight bend in the knees, and ragdoll. Option to cross elbows and let your upper body, your torso hang heavy, and just really letting your neck and your upper body go. If this is too much on your back too soon, option to leave your fingertips on the ground and still taking that motion, being sure to release any tension in your neck. Toe heel your feet to touch with a slight bend in the knees, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, top of a push-up. We're also in the plank position a fair amount. This is a great strength builder. The key is stacking our joints. So shoulders over elbows, over wrists, belly button pulled to spine, and breathing. And push back to downward facing dog. Inhale, walk your hands forward, behind your feet, behind your hands, and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, top of a push-up. Again, we'll take a few breaths here as we hold plank a little longer each time. Feeling this in our core, in our shoulders. The backs of your legs should feel active as well, pulling the backs of your legs to the ceiling, lifting up through the feet. Breathing. And press back to downward facing dog. Inhale here and exhale. One more time on this flow. Walk your feet forward behind your hands Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And top of a push-up. And puffing up between your shoulder blades. Your eyes are looking towards the top of your mat, so your neck is in a long line with your spine. Breathing, even inhales, even exhales. And press back to downward facing dog. Pedal your dog out. One more inhale. One more exhale. Inhale, look to the top of your mat and travel forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up one vertebra at a time. Shoulders up and back. One more time, shoulders up and back. And mountain pose. Standing on, kind of rocking back and forth to really find the sweet spot of your balance. Sweep your hands up, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep your hands up. Stay here, right hand grabs left wrist. On the inhale, we extend, and on the exhale, pull your hands to the right, hips push to the left. I like to keep my feet slightly apart in this. It gives a little bit more grounding, a little bit more balance. Really feeling this on my side body, opening up the intercostal muscles, really giving them a nice stretch between the ribs. Very helpful for allowing for maximum lung movement and lung capacity. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands lift. Heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, hands lift. Stay here with left hand grabbing right wrist. Inhale to extend. And exhale, hips go right, arms go left. Feeling this now on the right side body. And do focus on keeping your hips square to the front of your mat. Sometimes a hip or a shoulder wants to jut out. And we're really trying to keep our body two-dimensional here. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale to lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right leg goes back for a low lunge. And take an inhale and an exhale here. You can use your fingers can be tented up to give support, but not crashing too much weight into your arms as we get ready to lift up into runner's lunge. Runner's lunge, a long line from ankle up your back through the crown of your head. Arms are energized and lifting towards the back of the room and towards each other. Firing up our legs. Left knee is over left ankle. You should be able to lift your toes, weight in the heel. And inhale, exhale up to crescent lunge. Really big hip opener here. Feeling it in the right hip. Also, as you sink into your lunge, the left thigh is also activated. Stay high on the back toes, ankle over the back toes. Take a few inhales and exhales here. One more inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Recommitting to your lunge. pressing in through the back side of the back foot firmly into the mat. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, side angle, left elbow to left knee. Option also to have your left arm straight down your shin, which puts a little more work on your core. Either way, we're going to bring our right hand overhead, and your weight should be, your knees should be tracking towards your pinky toes. Turning your rib cage so right ribs are lifted to the sky. Option to reach left arm forward, staying in your lunge. And exhale to warrior two. Inhale into star pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, hands to hip. Deep inhale and exhale, forward fold. Release your fingers to the mat and slight side to side motion if that feels good in your body. Come to stillness. Hands return to hip and inhale to rise. Exhale. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle, left leg straight. And exhale, windmill your hands to top of a push-up. From here, we'll take some planks with side dips. So we're just going to gently dip our right hip down, keeping your upper body still, left hip down, through center, right hip down, through center, left hip down, through center, right hip down, through center, left hip down, and back to stillness. Go ahead and release your knees to the mat, unfurling your feet, and we'll go in a modified flow, high to low push-up, so pulling elbows in to the sides of your chest and lowering down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up into cobra, or if you'd like, lift all the way up into upward facing dog with knees lifted, and press back into downward facing dog. We'll take 3 breaths here in downward dog at your own pace. Even inhales, even exhales. Inhale, look to the top of your mat and make your way forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, your hand to the mat and bring your left foot back into into a low lunge. Your left ankle is popped up over your left toes, and right knee over right ankle. Starting to really feel the energy in our legs here in this position as we begin to activate in order to lift up into runner's lunge. Runner's lunge, again, a long diagonal from foot to spine. The right knee's tracking towards the pinky toe. Weight in the heel. Breath. All the things we need to get us through more challenging poses. And inhale up to crescent lunge. Exhale. Just take a moment here in crescent lunge. Feeling the strength of our lower body, how powerful we are. It feels like all lower body. Let's make sure not to forget our hands. They should be active. Energy coming out your fingertips. And hands can pull back at least over shoulders, if not back further. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Sink into your warrior, a proud warrior that you are. Couple breaths. Gazing out over the front fingertips and thinking about having your back arm on the same parallel as your front arm. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale to side angle. Knee comes forward, right elbow to right knee. The left arm lifts. Option also to have your right arm in front of your shin, kind of pressing that knee open, whichever variation feels right to you. Getting the nice twist and lift in your ribs. Gaze following the upper fingers. And breathe. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale. And inhale to star facing the other way. And just getting your feet should be parallel, even slightly pigeon-toed. As we inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, star. And this time exhale your hands behind your back. You can clasp them together and shoulders up and back. If it's accessible to you, you can lift your hands, your clasped hands away from your backside as we inhale to lengthen and exhale to fold forward. Keeping those hands lifted off your back. Keeping a slight bend in your knees. This really opens up the backside, the hamstrings, but do keep that slight bend in the knees. Prevent them from locking out. We want to stay balanced in all of our postures. Inhale back to rise, and bring your clasped hands over to the right hip. Just take an additional shoulder opener here, pulling those clasped hands to the right, and switch sides. Take your clasped hands to the left hip and feeling a stretch through the right shoulder. Bring your hands back to center, release. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Windmill your hands to the ground for top of a push-up or plank pose. We'll take a second set of side dips, keeping your upper body as still as possible. Dipping hips right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center. Last time, right, center, left, center. Get comfortably back into the top of your plank. Release your knees to the ground unless you'd like to take a vinyasa regular, not modified. I do like to have my knees down so I can really focus on my upper body, pulling shoulders back and down, gluing elbows to your side and lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, low cobra, trying to not put too much weight in your hands. Also option to press up to upward facing dog and press back to downward facing dog. Taking 3 breaths here. Resetting our body, resetting our mind. Inhale up to the top of your mat. Travel forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Your feet can be touching, your toes can be touching, or they can be parallel and slightly a fist or two apart, whichever is more comfortable for your knees. It's a little more stable to have the base of your chair with your feet apart than your feet touching. So listen to your body and see what you need for balance today. You should be able to lift your toes when you're in chair, keeping the weight of your body over midfoot, over your heel. Breathing. Bring your hands to heart center. Step your right leg back. Bringing a prayer twist with a crescent lunge. So we're going to bring our hands, right elbow to left knee and hands to your chest as you twist in your revolved crescent lunge. Inhale and exhale, step that right foot back together. Let's keep our side twist. An option here again to have your right knee outside your left knee or right knee across both knees and your left hand comes to your sacrum. Either way, you want to keep your knees in line, working on the twist, breathing, keeping your heart above your hips, and return to neutral chair. Inhale to rise. Let's take a quick exhale with cactus arms, mini back bend. Inhale to rise. Exhale into your chair. Actually, let's bring our arms up like we did on the other side. So, sinking into our chair, finding a happy place in our chair, even though this is a challenging pose. Really firing up those legs. Bring your hands to heart center as you gently step your left leg back and twist to the right. So crescent lunge, revolved crescent lunge with prayer arms. So left heel is popped up over your left toes, twisting the body, your left knee on your right, your left elbow on your right knee. Keeping that twist, inhaling to lengthen and exhaling to twist. And with care and grace, step forward into chair with a twist. Again, option here for right hand to sacrum, left forearm across knees, or the traditional prayer twist with hands to heart center. Either way, the key is inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to twist. Inhale back to center. And exhale, stand and hands to heart center. go into our balancing series here. Plant your left foot grounded firmly into the earth as we open up the right knee and go into tree pose. You can assist your left foot with your right hand for traditional tree. Also an option to take your left shin and press it into your right foot. So a lower tree, and even your right toes on the ground. So whatever feels right to you. Breathing. I really just like to challenge myself in this posture, whether it's from where I place my foot, what hand positions I use, and where I put my gaze. So even if your toes are on the ground, consider challenging yourself with a gaze to the ceiling, with your arms back, with your eyes closed. Lots of different options. And the little wobbles we feel are all helping us improve our balance. Wherever you are in tree, bring the right knee up into one-legged Tadasana, your right leg parallel to your mat, your right foot flexed, standing tall in your one-legged Tadasana. A few wobbles, and exhale into toppling tree. So with our toppling tree, we have that long line on the back body like runner's lunge. You can lift your leg and sort of teeter-totter your body down. And today I'm just going to leave my toes on the ground. Need a little more grounding today, and that is okay. Inhale and exhale. We're going to go into forward fold with our right leg lifting. So splits, and the key here is keeping your hips level, lifting your right leg as high as you can with the foot flexed. I like to tent my fingers here to give some assistance, but not to put too much weight into your hands. Come out of our standing splits, and we'll do a balance challenge here. Let's bring our right leg through to one-legged Tadasana. Lifting right leg high. Open your right leg to the side. Arms reach to the side. I've got a few cracks in my body. Inhale back to one-legged Tadasana. And exhale, mountain pose. Whew. Some good balance there. So we'll take it on the other side. Root down firmly through your right leg. As you prepare your left leg, whatever variation feels right to you, with the key is pressing whatever part of your foot, the left foot, into your standing leg. So if you decide to go high, you're just really gonna press against each other, and that actually centering is what helps with balance. Keeping a very slight bend in the right knee. And you can do a different arm variation on this side. I like to sometimes be a tree with branches blowing in the wind to see how I can challenge my balance through movement. And this is something that happens a lot on the tennis court. You're trying to be balanced, but you're moving. One last change with my gaze. Bring your knee to center for one-legged Tadasana. Thigh parallel to ground, arms reach to the sky. Breathe, foot is flexed. Inhale and exhale through to toppling tree. Take the toppling tree that works for you, either elevated or keeping your toes on the ground. Hips should be square, so sometimes we need to focus on pulling that right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale as we fold forward into standing splits, bringing your hands to the ground, tent your fingers. Hips are square, so bring that left hip down, left toes flexed. A little slight bend in the right knee. And breathe. And here we'll do another balance challenge as we come through to one-legged Tadasana. So if you fall out, just come right back in and open to the side, back to center, and release into mountain pose. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, hands reach high. Exhale, swan dive over your feet, hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale, top of a push-up. And we will lower ourselves to the ground to do some floor work. So go ahead and bring your knees to your mat. And let's make it a longer count this time. So we're going to bring belly all the way to the mat for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands along your body, palms face down. And on your next big inhale, we're going to lift up into locust. All limbs lift off the mat with energy. Sort of not a fully pointed toe, but not flexed either. This is where breath is key. Inhaling, exhaling. And release. Bring your left ear to the mat. We'll take locust one more time. Chin on the mat as we lift up into locust. Flying our arms, our legs. Can you lift your limbs one little bit higher? Balancing on the belly. And release, right ear to the mat. Oh, letting it all out. Press back briefly through child's pose, spreading knees wide, toes can touch, and just sinking your hips deep into that. This can sometimes be uncomfortable in my shoulder, so I do kind of, you can take arms very extended, or I tend to bring my arms in just a little bit, provide a little less tension in my shoulder. Press up into tabletop. And with that, just cross your ankles and come back into a comfortable seat. And from here, from our comfortable seat, we're actually going to roll down to our back from this angle. So we'll go through boat pose because it's right here. It's so available. Let's do it. So we can do modified boat with your hands on the mat. And we'll just sit here for a minute, or also full expression with arms forward. So let's do a count of 10, whatever is comfortable for you, for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring your knees down for a moment. We're going to do a slight modification to the boat for our round 2. If you have a water bottle or a block, you can have that handy. Really anything works, or you can just have an imaginary object. So we're going to come back into our boat, and now we're going to grab our item with both hands and just go from side to side with our item for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, one-handed if that helps you with your boat, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring your feet down. Scooch forward just a tad so you can come fully onto your back, and bring your knees into your chest. After that boat work, let's roll around on in a little ball and just kind of release the lower back. And we're going to finish how we began, bringing your left leg long, right knee to right armpit. Let's take those little circles again, both directions, reaching the right leg long with the flexed foot, and seeing if you notice a difference in your flexibility on the back side of your hamstring after your class. I know I do. I feel quite a bit less tight. That feels good. And supine twist. So let's bring the right knee towards the left. Again, you can stack your knees. Right arm goes wide. And if it's comfortable to gaze towards that right hand as you get a nice spinal twist. Inhale back to center. Right leg goes long. And we're pulling the left knee towards left armpit. And then begin to get those motions in again. Little circles, both directions, before taking your left leg long, foot flexed, and comfortably, carefully pulling that leg towards your upper body and really noticing the difference in your flexibility. Bring your knees to center and supine twist, knees towards the right. Left arm reaches left, gazing towards that left hand. And come back to center. Let's take legs up the wall, even if you don't have a wall nearby. This is one of my favorite poses for just relaxation. Flexing your feet back towards you. Reach up towards your feet and we'll take happy baby. So whatever grip works for you, you're going to be pulling your knees down. So if you want to grab shins, if you're able to grab the insides of your feet. And just like a baby, we kind of roll around. We do keep our spine glued to the mat, although you can get some motion side to side. And even taking some leg variations, flexing your legs. And we are happy babies here. Inhale, your legs long again. And with ease and comfort, make your way into your final Shavasana.
We've come full circle here on our mats and just feeling gratitude for our bodies, for our health, for practicing yoga despite the circumstances. Really just feel the weight of your body on the earth, letting everything else go. I invite you to stay here as long as is comfortable. So with that, I will say namaste. As always, it's been a pleasure taping this practice for you. I appreciate you tuning in. I hope you give your body everything that it needs today and stay here as long as you're able to. Namaste.